Alright, I just wanted to come on here briefly before I start the next video upload that I have on plans and say that I had some goof ups and stuff in this video, so please bear with me. It was just hard for some reason. I remember my pastor was talking about when tried to teach on Satan that it seemed like he would always throw a curveball or make people feel bad or whatever. That's about, I believe it now. I tell you, I really believe it. So, without further ado, here is my video. Okay, I've been looking through a book that I've got here. It's by Chip Ingram, I guess is how you pronounce his name. And its title is The Invisible War. What every believer needs to know about Satan, demons, and spiritual warfare. And I wanted to turn to the section where it has the names of Satan. And of course the book explains that if you want to find out more about the schemes of Satan, it's good to look at the names of Satan. And the first one is Satan means adversary. Job chapter 1, verse 6 and 7. And 1 Thessalonians 2:18. He opposes God's agenda. He works against God's plan. He violates God's character, and he assaults God's people. He makes it a point to get in the way. I think we all can relate to that. Number 2 is devil. Devil means slanderer, however you say that. And that's referenced in 1 Peter 5 and 8. One of his schemes will be to say false things about people and to ruin their reputations. He loves to stir up false witnesses and juicy gossip in order to discredit a servant of God. Number 3, Lucifer means son of morning or shining one. It's referenced in Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12. This means he is not going to come to you transparently ugly and scary, but will appear beautiful and winsome. Yeah, he will appear beautiful to you. You know, he won't be no scary figure. He wants to sneak into your life, basically. You will be attracted to his agenda because he'll dress it up and seduce you with it. Yeah, I think we can all relate to that. Next one on the list is Beelzebub. Beelzebub means Lord of the Flies, according to this book, and I've heard of it translated differently, but I'll go with Lord of the Flies. And it's referenced in Matthew chapter 12 and verse 24. It was a pagan idol supposed to protect the swarms of flies. Jews understood it as the god of faith, and notice that here is a lowercase god, which is an apt decision of Satan. And next one up on the list is Belial. I'm going to spell that for you. Belial was the name of a false god, and it's referenced in 2 Corinthians 6 and 15. Anything Satan can do to divert worship from God and direct it toward himself interests him. Believe it or not, it's you can really think of many. I can think of many areas where that can apply. All right, next one on the list is the evil one, and it's referenced in 1 John chapter 5, verse 19. In Greek, the word is the word for absolute corruption. The evil one means absolute corruption in Greek, apparently. He will influence anything he can to corrupt it and make it as evil as possible. That is why one young child can kill another with a hammer, and blow to the skull, as in a news report I read recently. And of course this is referenced by the writer of this book. Or someone can put a bomb on his body and blow himself up, and others or company can knowingly pour poison into water because it would cost quite a bit more to dispose of it in a safer manner. There's evil in the world, and it comes from a wicked, corrupted influence. Yeah, better believe it. Alright, the next one on the list is the tempter, as the name, yeah. And it's referenced in 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 5. The tempter will exploit our perfectly good desires and entice us to fulfill them with artificial means. That is why all good gifts from above, food, rest, sex, ambition, and work, for example, have distorted and twisted variations that are far from the will of God. What do you think about that? You probably never thought I would talk about such a thing on YouTube, but I just did. Next one is the prince of this world, and that is referenced in John 12 and 31. The prince of this world is a master of false systems. He crafts entire schools of thought that can suck us away and destroy us. He's working to create an image that is attractive to young girls, convincing them that if they don't look like a cover of 17, that's reference to a magazine in case you didn't know, or Cosmopolitan, another magazine that's out there, they are not worth much, that's stupid, It's one of his ways. He has a system that has convinced guys that they need ripped abs and chiseled physique to be cool. So they'll become self-absorbed or take steroids and ruin their health. Satan comes in as many ways. He convinced millions that until they get a certain kind of watch to wear and a luxury car to drive to their beach house, they haven't really succeeded yet. It's another way of deception, believe it or not. He's behind false religions, false prophecies, false doctrine, false morality, and every system of thought that cannot lead anyone to God. That's true. Another truth there. He has infiltrated governments, economies, educational institutions, and anything that has influence in this world. The conclusion John gave to is sobering. Yeah. The whole world lies in the power of the evil one. That's referenced in 1 John chapter 5 and verse 19. Almost done now. You know, that was a long one right there. And of course that was the prince of this world that we just read about. And you could see that in action all over, basically. And the last one is the accuser of brethren. And this is referenced in Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. Yeah, the accuser of brethren will condemn you. He points out your sins, the sins God has paid for in blood and forgiven. Yeah. So, you know, he rehashes things that happened years ago. I can relate to that personally, that's for sure. And he reminds you of them consistently, as in the book concludes in that situation. He tries to make you feel like a terrible Christian, a bad dad, a no good wife, a worthless human being. He'll whisper, if you ever hear that voice, it does not come from God. That's right. Yeah, he'll tell you that you're no good. You're not going to melt the hill of beans, as an old saying is around here. But God has other plans for you. And that concludes what I was going to read about in this book for right now. I might find some other things that may interest me, and I might want to share them. But you know, that I hope that gives you a good insight of how Satan works. You know, and that's kind of just scratching the surface in ways, probably. Yeah, literally. I'd say scratching the surface. So anyway, for now, thanks for watching, and God bless, and more to come later.